Hello and welcome to another video on payroll processing in eBusiness Suite R12. So in another video, we have seen how you can process the quick pay and the prepayment process for one person at a time. Today, we will see how you can process for a group of employees by running the payroll process. Now, the usual sequence of processes in which or the sequence in which we run these processes are: first we run the payroll process, then we run the prepayment process. Prepayment process is the one that distributes the payment net pay amount across multiple bank accounts or the payment methods. Now the next step after that is creating the file for sending to the bank. It will have the name of the account holder, account number, the sort code, the amount to be paid, etc., as required by the respective banks. Now, right after doing the payroll process, you are in a position to process and move forward to costing and then do the transfer to GL processes. But usually we wait till the bank file has been sent, because that is a typically milestone, you can say. Right, so it's a definitive point where you have sent the file and you are asking the bank to debit your account. So that would be the ideal time after which you can run your costing process. Now, once you submit your payroll process, it will process all the elements and it will do all the formula processing, everything just like we saw in the case of quick pay. And in case there are some errors or you find there are some elements that got skipped or employees that got skipped, then the system, you have an option to roll back the process. Okay, so you realize that some new employees did not get processed, or there was some error in the formula calculation, or the formula missed up calculation and stuff like that. Then you can resubmit your payroll process but first you need to roll it back. Rolling back is like undoing the entire payroll process as if nothing has happened. Now, whenever you run a series of process, you can always roll back a payroll process or a prepayment process or a costing process. But before you roll back any process, you must ensure there are no future dated processes or there are no incomplete future processes. So if there is an incomplete process, system will not allow you to roll back. Or if there is a future process, it will not allow you to roll back. For example, suppose I have run payroll process, I have run prepayment process, and then I have run the costing process. Now, if I want to roll back the payroll process, I first need to roll back the costing process, then roll back the prepayment process, and only then will I be able to roll back the payroll process. All right. So that is the sequence of steps that we use for processing of employees in bulk, okay, in large volume, large numbers. Now let us go into the application and check out how we do this processing. So we now see the steps for doing payroll processing. For that, since it's a concurrent process, we go to the concurrent manager, submit a new request, and here you can choose payroll process. And this first you need to choose the payroll name. Here I have created a payroll, and for which period you're running it, that you need to specify. The latest one will default. If you want to run it only for a certain set of elements, you could do that by using the element set. Or if you want to only process it for a certain set of employees, then you can do it by using the assignment set. And then we say OK and submit it. Say no. While this is running, this process is running, you can also review this by coming to views and payroll process results. Okay, So we go to payroll process results. You can choose a payroll. You can choose from date to date. You can choose an action type, or you can just leave it blank and look at everything. So it shows you everything, okay, that has been submitted so far. Okay, and against this, each of these processes, you can look at who got processed, how much was processed. You can look at the elements, the form run results, what was the input value, and what is the final pay value that has been processed. And then for example, if you're looking at the HRA, if you remember, HRA is a 50% of basic. So the basic here is 15,000. So 50% of basic has been calculated. You can also look at the SOE report from here, and you will see all the results. And could again go back, go to submit request, submit a new request, payroll process. So till September has been run. So we'll now run it for October. So when you say by default, the current month comes, okay, so you can choose the month of October, which is the last one, which is not yet processed. So we submit this process and go back to the same screen. You click here, it will appear while it is processing. When you have a large batch of employees, this is very convenient to track how many has been processed, how many have errored out, or how many completed so far, and stuff like that. You can also give a period as the filter here, since it's for October. Usually takes a couple of minutes before it comes here. See, now it has come and it says processing. So if you look at process info, it will tell you how many completed, okay, what is the percentage of completion, how many in error, how many marked for retry, and stuff like that. You can refresh it to monitor the details, and give it a few minutes. You can look at the list of employees here, and all those who are getting processed, you will see the list here. If there are 100,000 employees, you will see everybody over here, all those who belong to the payroll, to this particular payroll. Okay. Now, while this is payroll process is running, this is the assignment process results window. From here, you can look at one employee. Okay, the other one was you had the payroll process and you are looking at all the different employees, right? Now here you can pick up individual employees, let's say employee number 4, or you can look at the list here. Okay, so you can see what processes have been run. August has been run, October has been run, and so on. You can look at their results also. So what is the amount, what is the HRA, and then see HRA is 20% here. So that's why 20% of 10,000 has been calculated. And SOE report will show you both the payments, deductions, and the net amount. Once you are happy with this, you can now go to the requests again and submit your prepayments process. Then again you need to choose, and this time start date, since it is the we ran it for October, we need to give the October date, otherwise it will still pick up your August, make this 31st. So all processes that have been done, cost payroll processes, those will get picked up in the prepayments process. Okay, So while the prepayment is processing, you can again go back to this payroll process results and look at SP and then click find and wait for a few minutes. Then this prepayment will come. Last, the September one is there. So next is the October one that is coming up. So you can see the processing, how many processed and things like that. And if you look at the run here, here also it tells you there were 7 records and all got processed, 100% completed. You can see here how many employees and who are getting processed. You do query, see. So if somebody has been skipped, it will mention, or processing, it will mention. Since it's a short, small group of employees, so it immediately it says process. And then you can look at the process info, look at the pay methods, and for individual employees. So if it's not there, it will give you a issue. See, the check is there. That's the default payment method which has been paid out. If you look at the SOE report, it shows you the payment methods here. Okay. Now, let's say you want to do you want to redo the calculation, the payroll calculation due to some mistake that you found out. You want to reverse it. Now you can do reversal in 2 ways. One is you can do from here. You can click on delete, or you can go to the concurrent process and submit the rollback process. Now, if you try to do this from here, like I told you, there is an assignment action interlock because subsequent process has been run. That means after the payroll, the prepayment process has been run. So if you want to redo anything, you have to first remove the prepayment process. That's it. It's done now. Okay, so a rollback will happen. Give it a few minutes, and then if you want to roll back, you can roll back this payroll process. Done. Okay. So this is how we do the different processing. And if at any point of time, if you want to do the subsequent processing or you want to redo the processes, you have to just go back here and go to request, submit a new request, do the payroll. This was for October. Submit it. Our payroll period is starting from April, so that's why you would find it's number 7. Wait for a few minutes. Multiple payroll worker processes have been kicked off, so you can see the details here. Wait for a few minutes. You can again go back here and look at it. Since there's only one payroll, I did a direct find and now it's completed. Okay. After this, the next step is to run the prepayment, so which I'll do here. Since we rolled it back, that's why I'm having to redo it. The payroll consolidation set is mandatory. Now, often here, what you can do is if you have multiple runs, you can combine everything together for this payroll. Okay, and this override, payment override, is if you are using one-off, maybe you want to give a check to everybody and instead of sending it to the bank, so you can do those kind of things here and then say submit and click find, refresh the data. wait for it for a few minutes. After you have done the prepayment and the and before that the payroll run, you would be in a position to do the costing. So that would be the next step that we'll be getting into, doing the costing. Now remember, costing also depends on what kind of information that you have captured for the cost allocation flex field at the different levels. Okay, so we'll leave that costing for the next video, but for now you would finish this and in a situation to proceed with the subsequent steps. And here you can look at the status, all completed. All right, so we completed the steps for payroll process and the prepayment and how you can roll them back. Let me show you the other way to roll it back is to go to requests, submit a new request, and you can type here rollback. Oops, sorry, spelling mistake, rollback. Okay, and you can then submit the rollback process from here, or okay, rollback US payroll process. Say yes, and it will show you the payroll processes that have been run and which you can pick up as part of your rollback. Okay, and now now depending on your legislation or the responsibility that you are using, you may find other rollback processes as well. Now, for example, you could, if you do a roll, you will see things like rollback or a rollback run. So when you go to rollback run, this is specifically for a payroll that you want to roll back. Okay. Now, when you run this, this should have been run through this responsibility. So that's why it's not there. Or if you want to do a rollback, you can click on this and here, and you get the list of process types. Okay. So suppose you want to roll back a prepayment, you say prepayment, then you will get the payroll process which is related to prepayments. Okay. Or if you just want to roll it back for a select set of assignment sets, you can do that. Maybe for 10-12 employees, their bank account is incorrect or their payment details are incorrect, then this can be done. Okay, so that is more or less what we have for our payroll processing and prepayments video. Thank you for watching, and do let us know in the comment if you have any questions, queries. We'll try to address those, or if there's any specific scenario you want us to address. Thanks.